Hey, welcome to episode number 3 of Jaws on Sports. We're going to talk about UFC 285 last night. Had the return of the greatest of all time, Jon Jones, in an epic performance. We had a superstar champion go down. We had some other great performances. Awesome debut. Zach, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great. Fantastic.
That's sweet, man. I
Oh
know, I
yeah,
love it. So,
nothing better.
yeah. So, old man here was up till about 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch the end of the fight. And I guess you could say it ended rather anticlimactically in 2 minutes. But is that kind of what you expected all along?
I thought, I texted you right before the fight and I said, if he gets his hands on him, it's over. Um, and even in the post fight interview and watching the, minute that they actually were striking and on the feet, Jon said he felt awkward just because he hasn't really fought for a while, striking wise. But he said as soon as he got his hands on him and got him down, he knew it was over. So, um, I didn't think it'd be that easy. I mean, he made it look really easy.
Yeah,
Man, that was dominant. And against a guy like that, Cyril, man, he busted him up pretty bad. That was impressive.
yeah, it was impressive. Now, we go back to the Cyril's fight against Francis Ngannou, and we talked about that last week. Cyril had him for a couple of rounds, and then Francis started wrestling, which
Right.
nobody saw. And I think for me, yeah, obviously Jon Jones has shown that he's a great wrestler and defender of takedowns over the years. But I think I was too concerned for whatever reason that the move up to heavyweight was going to be too much for him, and that was going to be a problem. Obviously, that wasn't the case because as soon as he got a hold of Cyril, he took him down. That was it.
Yeah, he's just so supremely talented. The guy could have played any sport if he wanted to, but he happened to like to punch guys. So
Yeah.
he he's just a freak athlete. And I was thinking, everyone was saying he's going to go up, he's going to put on all this weight, be against these bigger, stronger guys. There's not anyone he's going to fight that's going to be bigger and stronger than him, uh, or more skilled technique wise, wrestling, maybe even striking. Now that he beat the best striker in the division, so I think, I mean, you can never count out a guy like Jon Jones. He's just, if you didn't think he was the greatest before that fight, he is now. You can't really go another way saying that. Dude went up. He has, I think, 15 championship wins now. I think it's
I think
15.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And two division champ now. Um, just can't deny. He's undeniable. He's best ever.
Yeah, when he had him in that clinch against the cage, and he had his forearm underneath Cyril's neck, and it was pretty hard to tell because I think that most fans will say that when they saw that, it seemed like a premature tap out. But when they went back and showed the close up, boy, he was dug in there,
That was in there, man.
and
It
then
really
he had
was.
he had all of his weight on it too. So
Yeah. That's a 250-pound dude, and he knows exactly what he's doing down there.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that guy gets a hold of you in any way, you're screwed. But that was in there, really tight, had his hands locked. And it was super awkward, the position up against Cage. It's so hard to finish a fight with a guillotine like that in that position, but he made it look so easy.
yeah. I thought that he was probably just gonna just hold position. Obviously, he was going to maintain a dominant position, but maybe do some ground and pound. But I sure didn't see that coming like that.
Yeah,
And when it came, bam, it was there.
it was
So
over. Yeah,
2 minutes. I was looking at the stats on UFC.com afterward, and Cyril supposedly landed a couple shots. I didn't see anything. There was a couple leg kicks maybe, but
yeah. So I think he landed a couple leg kicks, and then his only significant strike was a shot to Jones' nuts in the first 10 seconds. But that was it.
Yeah.
That was domination
Yeah. And
completely.
it kind of made me wonder if that was just a little bit on purpose,
What?
the way that it came out. I mean, Cyril, he's six foot
Oh, like
four. The
the
nut
nut
shot.
shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
both those guys are 6'4" and long limbed. And um, it wasn't anywhere near the belly at all. So,
Oh no.
I
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
hey, you're in there against a superior opponent. You do it once, maybe it gets them off their game for a little bit. Yeah, Jones had that look on his face after
Yeah.
that, but yeah, I guess that was
It,
definitely the only significant strike that he delivered.
I think that might have put him off a little bit worse because he pissed off Jon Jones even more. He's
Yeah,
in a cage fight now, and he's mad because you just shot him, or you took a shot right at his nuts. It doesn't feel good. Any guy knows that. It is a terrible feeling. It
yeah,
goes up into your stomach too. And imagine you got to keep fighting after that. So I'm sure he was not very happy, and you saw it. I mean, a minute later, the fight was over. So,
yeah. I don't imagine that Bones Jones had In-N-Out Burger there in Vegas before for his pre-fight meal, but whatever it was, it probably was up in his throat right there. But
yeah.
he
Yep.
recovered, and uh, it just seemed like it was just a matter of time until he got a hold of Cyril.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's not much to break down. There's not much to say about the fight,
no,
except it was a complete domination. It was just one guy that's better than everyone else. And a lot of questions we had going in were just because he hadn't fought.
mhm.
People saying, oh, the weight change and all that. We've seen guys go up and win titles all the time. The only difference with this is you're gaining 30, 40 pounds instead of going up 10.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I don't have much to say. The guy's the best, and you can't deny that.
So let's look forward, and a couple things. The elephant in the room is Francis Ngannou, who Dana White said is never going to be back,
Yeah.
and he said that a couple times. Um, this is a huge business. You never say never in the business, but at least for the short term, which is probably the rest of this year, we're not going to see Francis Ngannou in the UFC. So they keep saying that the next guy is going to be Stipe Miocic. So I'm a fan of Stipe, and he's a legend up in Northern Ohio up there. I mean, the dude practicing firefighter, everyman type of thing. Um, just has some incredible performances against DC. He got the crap kicked out of him finally against Francis in that last fight. He's 40 years old now. I based on what I saw from Jon Jones last night, I don't think Stipe has any kind of chance.
Man, Stipe has nothing for John Bones Jones. I don't know who does, but I'm telling you right now, Stipe Miocic has nothing for Jon Jones. Not a single thing. There's nothing he's gonna do. It's gonna be. I don't know if it'll be as quick as that Cyril fight, but Jones is probably gonna get him out of there. Stipe doesn't deserve it. First of all, the dude hasn't fought since he got flatlined. I mean, what has he done to deserve that shot over a guy like Pavlovich or Blades if they win?
I
I
think
get that.
it's yeah, I think it's because in the MMA community, Stipe is generally regarded as the best heavyweight ever.
Yeah.
Um, say what you want about that. Francis Ngannou was probably well on his way until his fallout with the UFC. But I don't see any way that this ends it positively for the fireman from Cleveland.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he's. I don't know if this will be a retirement kind of thing if he gets dominated like that, but man, I like Stipe. Great story. It's sad it's not talked about more, but man, after what I saw against probably the best guy in the division and the way he got disposed of immediately like that, I don't care what people say about Stipe. I don't, because in my mind, at least, he doesn't have a shot. He doesn't. Jones is too good.
Yeah. I guess you could say if there is some kind of a positive, he's probably going to get a big payday for the fight. And I think that they're looking towards the International Fight Week, which is always around the 4th of July weekend, whenever that's going to be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one thing I was thinking of is Jones didn't take damage in that fight, and he doesn't have to cut weight anymore. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying he's going to fight 3, 4 times a year, kind of like Usman does, or Izzy, but I think he'll be fighting a lot more. And I wouldn't be surprised if 4 months from now he was fighting Stipe. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised at all.
I definitely see that happening. Um, Now, looking past that, I mean, what else have you got in the heavyweight division?
I don't. That guy. Well, Curtis Blades, he has hands now. He's leveled up that part of his game. Fantastic wrestler. It kind of cancels out with Jones, so that'd be more of a striking fight if he fought Jones, and Jones wins that. The Sergey Pavlovich, the Russian lab guy, he, he's a stud. He's got bricks for his hands, but
Hmm.
I don't know anything about his ground game.
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't.
thing with Jones. I mean, and Jones, he didn't even have to use his pawing in that fight last night
No, he
that we
didn't.
talked about last week and that he's famous for.
Nope.
So,
He threw a couple leg kicks, a couple straight rights, and then that takedown was beautiful. He slipped the uh, left hand from Cyril straight
hmm,
into the back take, just took him down, and it was over right there. The fight was over.
yeah,
And I don't know at heavyweight. I really don't. I really like Tom Aspinall, the English fella, but he hurt his knee, so I
hmm,
don't know when he'll be back. Pavlovich is good, but man, Jones is just a different level guy. It's so crazy how good he is, even after being out for 3 years. And he just comes back like that. Man,
yeah. From what I saw last night, any of the other fighters in the heavyweight division, it kind of looks like Georgia versus TCU in the national championship game a couple months back. Nothing but respect to TCU, but just
outmatched.
totally outmatched. And
Yeah.
that's where we are. Shoot, I I could even see something crazy like UFC trying to bring a freak like Brock Lesnar back.
That'd be, well,
Mhm.
Lesnar would get wiped, though.
It'd get destroyed probably, but
Yeah, but
hey,
be
it's
good for business.
sell an awful lot of pay-per-views, that's for sure.
Yeah. I I was kind of hoping. I know Rogan was there last night, but I was kind of hoping that they would let DC interview Bones. I thought that would be interesting. I mean, those guys don't like each other, but man,
They
I
did a
would have.
lot of incredible business.
Oh yeah,
And
without those two guys, I don't think they would have been who they were.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
And at the end of the day, business is the name of that game. That's for darn sure.
yeah, I mean, look at Dustin Poirier. No one cared about him,
Yeah.
but he fought the villain. He beat him twice, and now he's a big star. He hasn't won a belt ever. He won an interim title, but the guy might not ever win gold. But he's got tens of millions of dollars to his name now. He's
Hmm.
got hot sauce. He's got a hot sauce brand.
You
He's
got that, man.
doing big things. So you don't have to necessarily be the best to make a dollar in that game, man. You really
Yeah.
don't.
Well, that kind of, takes me a different direction here. Like for some of the other fights on the card, let's skip over the ladies' title fight for a second. What do you think of Bo Nickel?
Did you see the nut shot on the knee
Yeah, there were a
before he
lot of
took him
nut
down?
shots last night.
There
I don't
was. It was something.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of the early prelims. Guy got clocked 3 times, and he got poked in the eye.
Yeah.
But needless to say, he lost the fight. I don't remember which one that was, but
Yeah.
it was brutal. Yeah, he
The
was
Bo
down there
Nickel.
on the
Yeah.
floor. It was terrible.
Uh, Bo Nickel, the great equalizer in any fight ever, is if you can take a guy down. and do whatever you have to do to him, beat him up or submit him. And that guy, he's definitely special. He's super raw still, and I'd like to see him fight a guy with good takedown defense, just to see his striking a little bit. But I don't know if you saw him go out the first 10 seconds. He threw a head kick and he slipped and fell.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It
He was
was
trying to prove
hilarious.
something.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if that was some like jitters thing or just being nervous, but then he, got his hands on him and it was over, just like the Bones fight. As soon
Yeah,
as
it makes you
that
wonder
happened.
if somebody on his team said, "Hey, you should go out there and try a head kick first thing,
Well,
get a
I
get a
could see
flash
why.
knockout."
Well, imagine the other dude. I think Pickett was his name.
Yeah,
I think they were probably thinking, okay, have your hands down a little bit just in case. He's probably gonna come out and shoot right away. So I could see that. But I like him a lot. I think he's definitely got something really special about him. He's got a lot ahead of him. He's still a young guy.
hmm
So he's got a long ways to go, but I like watching him. He's fun to watch.
yeah, he's
And
fun
I
to
think,
watch. Yeah, he
yeah,
was like a minus 1,400 favorite last night,
yeah,
and yeah, it got me thinking a little bit right before they're doing the walkouts, and here you got this guy, three-time NCAA national champion, middleweight, debuts in Las Vegas UFC pay-per-view on a fight card that's got two championship fights.
yeah.
What do they do to deserve this? So
He
they
showed you.
yeah, I mean, obviously he's there to show what he can do, and respect to everybody on the UFC roster. And I would never say this to them right in front of them, because they could tie me up into a pretzel and kick me over the Golden Gate Bridge real quick. But if there was ever a case where UFC was going to feed a fighter to somebody like that, this was definitely the case. There was no
Yeah.
way in the world the dude was going to beat Bo Nickel.
No, I agree
Yeah,
completely. I'm excited to see him next. Uh, what else? It was good to see Cody get a win, get
yeah,
back in the win column.
yeah.
He was just flat out better and he was more experienced. Who else? Uh, oh, Ian Gary.
And
That's a
Gary was
bad
good.
man. That's a
Yeah,
bad man, dude.
he's a
His
bad man, and he's got that Irish fan base behind him, and
Yeah,
there aren't that many. There's him, there's Patty, or there. I don't think there's anybody else right active right now
no,
that's Irish. And gosh, he's entertaining. He can obviously back it up in the octagon. Man, the sky's the limit with this dude.
yeah. I'm excited to watch him grow.
Yeah,
He's super exciting. Uh, Shavkat and Jeff Neal, that was a great fight. Those guys beat each other up
yeah,
really
that one
bad.
was tough. Those guys they're still in the ice tub today, probably.
Yeah, the standing rear naked choke with what,
Mhm.
like 50 seconds left or something like that. That was a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
I didn't know Neal missed weight, but I thought that would affect the fight more. I don't know if he's injured or something going in,
Well, they were
but
talking about that. I didn't
yeah,
remember this, but he was due to fight in January, and it got postponed because he has some kind of a undisclosed injury. So
mhm,
they said he came in 4 pounds overweight for this. Maybe he
yeah,
didn't have the camp. I don't know. There's no telling, but
right.
he put on a heck of a fight. He really did.
Yeah, he could have got both those guys could have got knocked out multiple times in that fight. It was
Yeah.
a great fight.
Yeah.
A lot better. I thought he would give him a fight. No one's really given Shavkat a fight yet, but he did, which is really valuable experience for him. That guy's really good. 17 wins, 17 finishes. That guy's something really special. I'm
Oh,
excited to see him.
it's amazing. It was great to see these guys get that exposure
Recognition. Yeah.
last night. There was
Yeah.
another one I saw. Oh, shoot. I got to pull it up here real quick because I can't remember her name.
Amanda Rebus,
Not
Hebus.
Amanda Ribas.
I don't know.
The straw weight, Tabitha Ritchie, and I'm probably saying her
Oh,
name wrong. I apologize. The way that she
yeah,
dominated Jessica Penne
yeah, that
was
was
very,
impressive.
very impressive.
That's when I turned it on. That was the first fight I watched.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of her before.
no, but we're gonna
Um,
hear from her,
oh
that's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So,
Uh,
so then we had the big upset, and you can say what you want about where this is in the annals of upsets, but I never expected Grasso to defeat Valentina. Just never ever saw that one coming. Anything can
yeah,
happen when you step into that octagon, of course, but this one I just didn't see it because the styles.
yeah. If you watched Valentina in her last fight against Santos, a lot of people thought she lost. She seemed to be more focused on beating her opponents at what they're good at, which we talked about last week. But man, she just doesn't look like she has that killer instinct anymore. She's taking people down. She used to just knock everyone out on the feet, and she knew she was better on the feet, and it showed in every fight. But her defense isn't as good, and her striking, I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's been on the top so long and people have just caught up. But man, it's kind of like Weidman and Rockhold, that
Mm-hmm.
spinning kick. That's what happened. You throw something like that and you miss terribly and get choked out. Uh,
She
and
didn't.
respect to Grasso too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Valentina didn't have to throw that spinning kick. I mean, she was. It was a really good fight at that point. You could argue that Alexa Grasso won round one, but Valentina won the second two.
Yeah,
Um, I think she was well on her way to a 49-46 decision in a tough fight.
yeah,
But then props to Grasso. She never looked like she got flustered. In the corner, she was totally focused. Uh, there was never any indication that she was overmatched in the fight.
yeah. She wasn't afraid. I think that was the big thing in women's MMA for the last 5 years or so. Everyone was afraid of Nunez and Valentina, and they're
Hmm.
not anymore. They're chasing that.
Yeah, this
Even
this crop of younger ladies coming up, they're really good.
they're better. Yeah,
Yeah.
they. It's not. I'm not saying the best always get left behind, but there's a certain point where, I mean, even right now, the best fighters, they will get left behind eventually, and the up and coming guys will just be better than they are. The fighters, GSP always talked about it. He said the fighters of tomorrow will always be better than the ones right now.
Yeah.
They're just going to continue to get better and be more well rounded. So that's just how it is. It catches up to you eventually. And if you retire before that happens, then good on you because you left on top. But they always catch up, which is why I'm so impressed with Jones
Yeah.
because he's still the man after, man, what, 12 years now in the UFC? I think
12
12.
years. One of the things we
Yeah,
talked about real quick last week was, this 3-year gap that he had. It's not like he was probably not at home eating bonbons and watching Netflix all day. I'm sure he was training, and
right.
he trained a long time to get. Oh, yeah, I had a error there. That was weird.
My bad.
Oh wow,
Wait, hold on.
yeah, little glitches.
There we go. Sorry
No
about
big
that.
deal. Hey, it's all right. We got you in stereo there for a second, man. All of our 50 million subscribers are going to love that. Yeah, they see me, they want to turn away. They see you, and they're like, "Hey, hit that
Seeing
subscribe
too.
button to Jaws on Sports." Yeah,
Think you're just me, but without hair. About the same.
yeah. It was interesting. I kind of figured that you were working this evening, and I was in the middle of shaving, and it takes some talent to do this. Thank you Schick Hydro 5 and Edge Gel shaving cream. But yeah, we were able to make it happen. So, but going back to Bones Jones, those 3 years off, you know, I kind of compared it to a COVID year off last week with a lot of football players and basketball players, and yeah, maybe he is fresh. No, he's 35, but he hasn't had the wear and tear for not just 3 years, but he's lightly fought since 2018. So you're going on
Yeah.
5.
So one big thing, I really enjoyed watching Dominic Cruz fighting.
Hmm.
He was hurt so much, and it was during his prime. And as we saw Jon Jones stop fighting, like his career ended at heavyweight. I mean, light heavyweight rather. He had those lackluster performances, and we were thinking maybe he's on the decline a little bit.
Hmm.
But you think coming off of 3 years and I think 2 or 3 straight performances that were kind of that we didn't really know exactly if he would level up like he did, but he did. He definitely did, and super impressive. Super impressive performance
It
by him.
seems like he is ready to go. Yeah, he's rearing to fight these guys. This
Yeah,
isn't like when George St. Pierre came back and fought Bisping.
right.
And seemed like it was a one off from the beginning, and it was.
Yeah,
Uh, Jones, he's ready to go. And the thing is with heavyweights are obviously the bigger guys. They tend to last a long time, and there's nobody that's got close to his skill set that's remaining. So it's going to be interesting to see how these fights play out, especially with the blades coming up.
right.
See what happens there.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun to see him in there again. Definitely was great to have the fight week and know that he's back for sure.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't have anything else on that. He's best ever.
he is the best ever. I don't think there's any argument about that.
I
Um,
agree.
the last thing I have, I am pretty sure that barring injury or any others unforeseen circumstance, we'll see an immediate rematch with Valentina and Alexa Grasso. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously Valentina has earned that,
Yeah,
and
7, I think, defenses,
yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
she
definitely.
had
I think she'll get it back.
she hadn't lost a fight since Amanda Nunes, and I think that was 2018.
Right.
So she earned that. We'll see how it goes. Will it be like a replay of the Nunes and Juliana
Pena.
Pena? Who I don't
Yeah.
know, but whatever the case, the women's flyweight division is definitely changing, and there's some fighters coming up that are amazing. So it's going to be fun to watch.
I agree.
All right. So next week we'll talk about the big dance coming up. That's going to be fun. Going to be wide open this year. No dominant teams. Can't wait. Can't wait to get my bracket 100%. So
Oh yeah.
I'm Mike. For Zach, this is Jaws on Sports. We'll see you next time.